game plan. Start your running by installing your game plan. To resign your players, or they'll become free agents. fan scouting comes down to this. Start the draft when you're ready.
The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. are now on the clock.
Are on the last year of their contract. Re-sign them. Cap room is how much money the closer your contract proposal is to free agents.
clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Dublin Celtic Tigers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock.
installing your game plan. To re-sign your players, or they'll become free agents.
Coach. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Arizona Cardinals. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Dublin Celtic Tigers. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is Shepard on the catch. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Open man right side is Ingram. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Dubliners with a football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and 5 to start things out. They'll set up to throw. It's caught. Shepard.
Another miss.
Still, there goes Sterling Shepard. 20. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, there's still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
He'll get it up the middle, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there.
And this will be a touchdown. It's their quarterback as the first half is winding down. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it first and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw on second down is Newton. This will complete to Christian Kirk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So after the run for a yard, here comes 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, they run with Edmonds, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter. Back to throw. It's brought in by Doxson. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Back to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for Shepard deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
A teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield scoring.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And it's 3rd down.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously cannot have an interception in this spot.
It nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. And now the timeout comes in with just 1 second left in overtime. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So we are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Dublin Celtic Tigers and the Dallas Cowboys. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The numbers for Shepard in last week's game. Now you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
He'll look to throw. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
319.
On first down, he'll drop to throw to Barkley on the check down. And Hill running right through it. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back to throw now on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. So plenty of action. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that's complete to Croft. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed. Back now in Arlington as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4.
Here we go. 180. What do you think?
Now Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Shedding through the defense. He may try and run for this. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Hurry up, here we go.
A first down carry for Barkley. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And this one is incomplete. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for...
Let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Hello again, everybody. It is...
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Oakland Raiders and the Dublin Celtic Tigers. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he'll dump it underneath. He's running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off. And now...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Dubliners with a football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Goes underneath for Henry. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Cooper's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Get down!
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. The final shot here before half for Carr. He's going to walk into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, come on, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had to have time, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, here's Henry. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Back to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now Carr, got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
On second down, here's Barkley. And one more, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running. So there's the spike as it comes with 23 seconds to go. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Carr going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now with with 6 seconds remaining. They're going to burn their final timeout. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Barkley. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
Let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
They'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll bring it down here up at about the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag routes to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break up much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective game nonetheless.
Now he'll throw deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Dubliners with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Able to fight for one tackle. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's flipped and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield. You move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Out is Rigoberto. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. But this one taken from the center. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly a disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes a recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it. They want to take it big.
They got it there on the option play for a loss. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he will find his man on the outside. 30, past the 20. And he does take it in for off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene.
And we're back now in Charlotte as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. Here's the Panthers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is taken at the 15. Yards on the punt there. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles a ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first down. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go.
Again, they run again. It's McCaffrey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. 3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Now a first throw here in overtime. He's going to go deep for Funchess. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Carolina. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the New Orleans Saints and the Dublin Celtic Tigers. First down, he'll drop to throw. A little juke, fights through at the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's the play fake as they set up the throw. Sliding out of the pocket. It's caught. Shepard. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Dubliners with a football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll set up to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Buying time to his left. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets it down to the 32. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and get away.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they can't bring him down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Evan Ingram was the intended target. And now it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Elliott puts this one through. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal step. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They start the second half with Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Back to the throw. Cameron. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and maybe an interception?
Yeah, the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the run.
Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go! 3-39!
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. Thomas, the intended target.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. they put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they get to the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up second and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. And the Saints will go for another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. Going for a right side here, complete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So from the 36 now, first and 10. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Brent, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the
Of the division.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Dublin Celtic Tigers. And it'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39! Green 39! Gun!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Shepard complete over the middle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down, and that'll be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock it out with a way to bring up second down.
A handoff to Barkley. And now running right through it. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line. But I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw here. Shouting the tackle. And it's a Shepard on the catch. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. It's an opening drive, third down. They go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league is going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well. One of the selling points of the end route is it gives the quarterback a really nice nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. He gets it off to Barkley. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And now we won't see the play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Let's go! Blue Lightning! Blue Lightning!
Back to throw now on first down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 23 yards on the play. So we've come upon halftime here that we now proceed to the start of the second half. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs.
19!
Welcome back now to the Emerald Isle, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter.
19!
To throw is Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Nifty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. this one will not work out. It is incomplete. Well, there's two sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. Well, sometimes you get a mismatch in these divisional round games. Not here. This has been everything we could have hoped for.
Okay, Brandon, don't get mad at me, but it's time for the old cliche.
Bring it.
Neither of these teams deserves to lose. But in the end, it's looking like the late field goal is going to be the difference in this game.
That's a good cliche. We'll let that one go. One final try now for Rodgers. And it's incomplete. All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dublin Celtic Tigers. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away, shakes up the sand. And his first look is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll drop the throw. Being chased out left. Looking for Shepard deep. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And that's incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Rick. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. It's such a risky play there